Didn't they say break a leg in the 40s? Go ahead and break a leg. Gotta break a leg.
That's right.
Well, no? What do they say? What are the kids saying now, Dan?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. Let's go.
You got one life, for crying out loud. You might as well just give it all you got.
The Deej, Dan Jordan.
Your daily dose of reality. Your daily dose of the Deej.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need my daily dose of the Deej.
I make the news. I don't watch the news. I'm a leader.
The Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Listen, don't worry how to sell, baby. Worry about why people buy. And it's fun.
You don't need a 5-hour energy. All you need is the Sales Energizer.
Just when I think it's not going to be as fun as the one before, each one gets successfully better. Success. What's the word I'm looking for? What's it going to take to get you into this car today, huh?
And now, please welcome the Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Boom! That's exactly it. Do that. Let's do that.
Let's go.
I have got to give Victor Antonio a call. Every time I see him there at the end, I'm thinking, boom. Do you know, every time it does the thing where it says, what's it going to take to get you into this car today, huh? I copy, I mouth the words, you know, as it's doing it. It's a funny
There's
thing.
nothing, listen, there's nothing that can make you feel better than to have a whole reel of yourself.
Oh, God.
You know?
I mean, it's so, you know, men need like 3 things in life. Okay. So this is what men need, but the first one is like honor and appreciation. So, you know, when you come home, you want that, you know, that kind of validation that you do.
You want your partner to take a knee. Is that what you're saying? Like, and kiss the ring? No. Okay.
I mean, welcome you at the door is enough. You know, it doesn't always need to be just the dog. Anyway,
Okay.
So
right.
Honor and appreciation, food,
Oh,
you know, a good meal.
awaits a man's heart, right?
A good meal from someone that loves you, it tastes better. You know, it really does.
I like that.
And
it was crafted by someone you love.
Oh, look at that. We got to write that one down. I'll put that in ideas. Yeah.
Well, you could print it and like sell it at Hobby Lobby or something as a wall hanging or something.
That's right. Yeah. So it's those 2 things. It's honor and validation. It's food and, you know, that other thing. But it starts with that validation. So when you get to see a whole reel of yourself, I mean, this is like, if you're waiting for other people to validate you, you know, you're going to be waiting a long time. That's why I do that thing in the morning. You know, in the mirror, like a moron, you know, I'm like, I lead, not follow. I believe, not doubt. I create, not destroy. I make the news. I don't watch the news. I'm a leader. I'm a force for good. I'm a force for God. I set the standard, defy the odds. I stand up. I take charge. And then I high five myself in the mirror. Yeah, absolutely. Really? Look myself square in the eye. High five myself. Always makes you laugh because you feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
But
I hope nobody was filming me. Right?
But you also feel good. You also feel good. You know, it's a good way to get started. Let me tell you. So I got that thing. So, or you could just meet the world's best producer, Chris Stone, and get a reel. Actually, everybody needs a reel made from about themselves. That's like a perfect thing. And so you know,
I mean, you want to talk about a self-esteem builder, and you know. But I have learned this. You know, speaking of Victor Antonio, which I've done one for, and you and some of the other clients that I have, always take that reel and give it to somebody that will give you the honest thing. Don't give it to your wife, partner, you know, whatever. Give it to somebody that will say, this was good, but you could improve. It could be improved here. Because when you watch it, you're just like, this is awesome. It's all me.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's right.
Oh my God, this is amazing. It's sort of like, give somebody that, you know, because you don't want like 3 months down the road and somebody to go, I really hate that part where it did it, and you're like, maybe it wasn't so good.
I agree. When you're using it for marketing, but I'm saying use it for yourself. I mean, do something with personal development. I mean, that's, you know, that's you. I mean, no one else needs to see it, But I'm telling you, you need that kind of personal validation. At least
like
I
an
do.
internal intro reel. Like every morning, let me play my greatest hits before I go out.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with greeting the world, feeling, being at 100%. But listen, you could write it down, and I do that. I write down my goals. You could write everything, but nothing works better than video, which is why I'm so excited today, because our guest has developed something for that time when you need video most and don't have it available, when you're not your best at it. And that is the time when you're applying for a new job and you want to be at your best, no matter what age you are. Could be coming out of school or changing careers. And for whatever reason, as if like from the heavens, one day the two souls met, and I'm able to bring my new friend on the show today to share his majesty with everyone. So without any further ado, please help me welcome my new friend with arms raised in the air, because I know he's forgotten, Mr. Dave Hanley.
There we go.
Look, he was nailing it. He was
that. I love nothing else. That's it. I'm done.
Well,
we'll talk to you.
Yeah, that is one of Dave's endearing qualities. He's in Colorado. Where are you? Where are you right now?
Utah.
Park City, Utah, and he's like, a man of the hills, and he's just, far as he goes with it, very, everything's aesthetically. There's a lot of feng shui going on in his life. He's all that.
Yeah,
I'm just excited to get the word feng shui into any conversation. So Dave Hanley.
All right, Deej, and we got Chris, my other new friend.
Yes. How was that? I always ask, was that a world-class intro or what?
I'm a little. I did no research on this. I'm a big fan of the show, yet I know very little about it. So I'm under the impression there could be 3 million people watching right now, and now I feel like I went about.
It's only
wrong.
2. It's only 2.
Yeah.
No. Literally just 2, not 2 million.
Does that include us?
Yes, it does include us. So
that's right.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
We're overshooting it. Dave, my man, listen, hook me up. You are a bit of a renaissance man. And I think we have through LinkedIn, which was, you must have seen something I did on LinkedIn. And then we spoke, and tell me what you do with LinkedIn.
Well, I did nothing with LinkedIn up until about 4 weeks ago when we put our 2.0 version of Introview out. And I said, boy, I better go sell this thing. And I said, I think people are on LinkedIn selling stuff. Yeah. And so I just went over there and ram shot, just tried to, I really don't know what I'm doing on LinkedIn. I had a total phony profile.
Well, no, hold on. I'm trying to set you up your real job with getting jobs for people.
Oh, my real job when I was a recruiter, LinkedIn didn't exist. I was a recruiter from 99 to 2003, 2004. So there was no LinkedIn yet. And so I am like, how'd you put it? I'm a man of the hills. I feel like I just came out of the hills because I have a product I want to go sell. Actually, because my business is just sending emails. I've been doing that for 15, 16 years.
Well, tell us about that.
Sending emails. So when I was a recruiter, I had always end up with a big stack of resumes after placing someone. And I said, boy, it's amazing how many resumes I went through to make one placement. I was a contingency recruiter in New York, and I placed advertising salespeople. And I don't know what I'd maybe made 20 placements a year, 20, about maybe around that. And I probably met thousands of people, and I thought, was there a way to make more money with money on every one of these resumes? And I was doing a Bikram yoga class at the time. Now he got canceled if you know Bikram. So now it's just hot yoga. But I was doing a savasana at the end of the class, and I was just thinking, I just was, kind of, because I have a few things on my mind, and this one, and I said, I could probably send, and I got a lot of stuff here, backstory, but I wasn't only doing recruiting. I was in internet stuff too, just on a side hobby thing. I'm not an engineer. I said, boy, I think monster.com and careerbuilder.com will pay me $2 if I get people to register a resume on their site. God, I got all these resumes. I'm going to email them and say, hey, why don't you put your resume on Monster? Why don't you put your resume on Career Builder? So I think when I got home, I did that. I had a bunch of files of email addresses, and I just sent them a link to the affiliate program, and I was making money immediately. So then I just did that, and I've been doing that for 15 years, essentially. It's gotten a lot more sophisticated than that, but that's
Isn't that amazing?
I'm behind I'm nobody there. I'm just sending
so and how many emails do you send out regularly? This will blow your mind.
400 million emails a month right now.
400 million a month.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we send job alerts now. Now it's really sophisticated. I mean, I'm a sophisticated guy. We do sophisticated things.
Yeah.
Very sophisticated.
Well, you want to know why we know you're sophisticated?
Are we going to some sort of Trump style thing here?
Oh, wow. No, we know you're sophisticated because you're the only guest so far, David, that has come on and dropped the word savasana. So I know that's lurking in the back of Dan Jordan's mind.
I wrote it down.
Yes, that's what that is right there. That's the move.
I'm imagining sending emails to people whose resumes I have right there.
See? That's what you don't need to look yourself in the mirror and do a mantra. You just need to do this. Savasana.
Savasana. Exactly.
You know what it sounds like? It's like that song. I hear things in rhythm, and so it's like Savasana, it's like bang, bang, out of my way. It's that Wham song, Savasana. You got my sunshine lighting and Doris Day. Savasana.
Yeah, from what is it?
That's right.
Gasbite. Zoolander. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Or the Muppets. Mana do 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 do. Savasana do do do. Savasana do. Right, listen, this is. I'm sorry.
BCBDB. Yeah, this is classy stuff.
Don't make a mockery out of my success.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get back on track, David.
So 400 million a month.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, how do we do this? There's 300 million people in America. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I really should look at it a little closer. It's too many emails. I mean, I feel like I should be making about $2 million a month at that rate. And I don't make $2 million a month doing that.
So, but, and the product you're selling is, hey, take this resume or email this and sign up on Monster or Career Builder.
No. Now we don't do any of that anymore. Not really. We work with, there's probably about 80 different partners we have. And the biggest one might be LinkedIn and Indeed.
So that's what I was saying. What are you doing with LinkedIn right now? He goes, oh, nothing.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I wish they would just give me more money. And then I wouldn't have to go out and I love building software. I do love it. It's probably, I just like building stuff. I just like seeing if something will work. But to have a livelihood, I have this long-term business where we have these partners who have job feeds. At the top end of it, it would be LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Indeed. Well, Indeed's probably the biggest. And then it goes to there's advertising agencies that called recruitment advertising agencies, and they'll give us a feed of all the jobs they want traffic to. And then we take them in every hour. We put them on a server. We index them, and then we change all the bids because they have different bids on them. Maybe like maybe an admin assistant at a car dealer in Indianapolis, we might get like 9 cents if someone clicks on that. If it's a nurse, a nurse job, we might get $2 if they click on that. So and then on the other side, we have another, just for lack of a better word, another server, another index full of resumes. and we say, okay, well, based on the recent open or click activity, or when the last time we sent them an email, we've got, there's 6 million people up right now, and let's send them all. And so then we, kind of go through every one of them. The software would go, we got, resume number 1. It'll run a query, it'll pull the jobs, and then we put 10 jobs in that email that we haven't sent to that person yet. And then we do that 6 million times. Then out of anyone who opened or clicked, we'll send another email in an hour or two with some more jobs because they're obviously interested. And we'll do that, and it adds up to 400 million emails a month. But it's 400 million searches that we do on this, in the system. So it's kind of expensive. We have a $100,000 a month Amazon bill, and it's a business.
Using the web services for Amazon.
Okay. Yeah, that's our cloud is Amazon.
And so you built this? It's a proprietary system.
We built the whole thing. Yeah, I have an office in Ukraine that I started with 12 engineers over there. We have two domestic engineers. One of them's our CTO. We built the whole thing. Yeah. Slowly over time, or improved it.
You see, this is real entrepreneurship. These are understated people.
I just buttoned myself up.
Understated people who just put these things together. But his latest thing is, so you found that there was something lacking in the industry for people to find their jobs, or for recruiters to really help people get the right people into the right places, and enough ways through video. So tell us about Introview.
I was seeing if you had it ready. You get me worried that no one can remember the name of this thing, Dan.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just me.
So Introview, that's hyperleap. That's our company that's got everything in it. There's Introview's homepage over there. So Introview is I really first released it in December 2020, which would have been December of the COVID year. I thought I was spot on, right on time with this thing. But we had some issues with our design, our UI, UX. So I rebuilt it. When you post a job on Indeed or LinkedIn, anywhere, you get a ton of resumes, and it's really easy to look at this. This is how
it's all of a sudden been Dan's favorite show ever right now.
Yeah,
that's right.
So when you put in Introview, so you get a ton of resumes. Half of them, I don't know. I've never recruited for. I one time I recruited for Priceline.com, but I guess it was more. I always recruit for kind of smaller. I don't know. Anyways, half the resumes didn't even remember they applied. Is what I
right,
because it's so easy just to mass apply or a quick apply, the whole deal. And so if you see a resume you like, but you call them up or you email them, you might not even hear back. You assume that they were interested because why would you have a resume and why would they have responded to that job? But they really don't even know they did it. And then they get a call from me or somebody and they want to talk. And it's just, I was, basically, and this is disparaging, but I'm a shit talker. Well, so they did their work. They don't have a job. They sent 80 resumes out on Monday, and then you call them on Tuesday and they say, what are you talking about? I'm a job seeker. I'm not a job. I'm just trying to keep the person off my back here. I'm not really, I want a job that's, I work 2 hours a week. I make 170 grand a year, but your job anyways, how do you get past all this quick? And there's also, to make a short story long, there's also the thing where, you got someone come in that you do meet them. You actually meet, or you get on Zoom with them, you have them come in person, or even you get them on the phone. And within 2 minutes you said, oh my God, we got to end this, but I'm a nice guy. You see, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you. this, and I will kill my time. And I knew within 1 minute I wanted him out. I can't do this. This is going nowhere. So what I used to do is at times when I was recruiting is I would just not answer I would not answer the phone. I'd email all of them and say, give me a call. Let's talk. I'm free now. And then I wouldn't answer the phone, and I would listen to all the voicemails, and then I would decide which voicemails I wanted to call back, because at least I had some sort of, a
basis to go by. Yeah, that's so true.
It wasn't that the old something.
It was the old Chet Holmes, who you know Chet Holmes?
No.
Okay, yeah, he wrote a book.
Chet Holmes?
You got to check him out.
Again, are we going back to the 30s here? Who's Chet Holmes?
Go ahead and look up
base
Chet
for the White Sox.
He built Tony Robbins' business. Anyhow, so Chet Holmes, and he used to say when he was hiring people or what have you, what you would do is you put an ad out. All these people would call in, to do the thing, and every one of them you would say to them the same thing. You would say, I don't think you're a good fit. I don't think it's going to match. And the ones that would fight for it are the ones that he would give a shot to. No, you're wrong. Yeah, that's the guy that they need to fight for it. So, which basically was putting up a barrier real quickly. So I think to encourage somebody to make a video, most people won't do it, but I think it's the perfect way to find the people that are real. I think it's great.
That's the thing. Okay, so there's also all right. So what the product is you get a resume, you send them an autoresponder or whatever. You send them a link to your Introview post for the job, and ideally it should be you. Let's say I'm hiring a salesperson, and I go, hey, thanks. I got your resume. This is me making an interview here. Hey, thanks. I got your resume. I'm Dave Hanley. I'm the CEO here. We are looking for that sales rep, whatever. Really appreciate you sending the resume. Could you reply to this video by hitting the button down there and making a video yourself, and let me know why are you interested in working for me or working for us over here? And that's the post. And so you have their resume. You now give them this video of yourself introducing yourself, which I think is a very human thing to do. There's Kevin, the CEO or COO over here. And and then you send this you get 300 resumes, you get 1,000 resumes. You send this to every one of them. You end up getting half of at best, half of them will send you a video back. The other half, you're thinking, well, I mean, if you're hiring for a nuclear physicist or something, you might want to, you might want to go about it a little differently.
But most people, this works for, and it's asynchronous too. So it's like, I think a lot of times people, and I'm a huge fan of that, because to Dan's point, some people just aren't ready yet to fire up a video camera, kind of get themselves together. But and so you can rehearse, and get yourself to where you're comfortable on video, and then hit send, right? And then
for sure you hit send. It's very obvious. You don't make a video and it's off and nothing. You can retake, you can crop it, you can you get the whole thing. It's very. I mean, that's the thing that I'm just trying to make people as comfortable as possible on this app. That's mostly the number one thing I'm trying to do.
It's the clean, and it's really clean and easy for someone to do. You don't have to learn how to use it. You just have to press play and go. And then
that's one of the hard parts of developing is we're all using it. We all know exactly how it works, but we don't really know for sure if we're drinking our own Kool-Aid, as they say, or something.
Like Dan, did you like that? I used asynchronous. So we've got Savasana and asynchronous.
Asynchronous. That's the word. That word has been the word because that's what it is. And we use it all the time in our marketing. I said, boy, I really hate that word though. And then we try to do stuff like
how did you get asynchronous? Did you? Was that Chris Stone? Did you make that up, or is that on
that's the thing. That's basically it's technology that allows you to record something locally, audio or video, And then, you know, I mean, technically a podcast would be asynchronous if you could connect back with it. So in other words, like there's a thing that used to be called Volley, and there's a vouch for and things like that, to where you can record something and then it gets sent to somebody and then you can reply to it. A lot of people use
like
coaching
services. Called Vidi.com, and we stopped building it. It's still up on Vidi.com. But what we had on when we did that is we would actually take a recording. So you would turn the camera on to record your face while you watch the other person talk. And then it would seamlessly, and then it would go 3, 2, 1. And then you just start talking and your mic would turn on. It was cool. I just don't.
You could record podcasts that way.
The whole thing. And it would look like real time, even though it was asynchronous. Asynchronous doesn't have to be video or audio either. Email is asynchronous. Text messaging is asynchronous. But you know, I think people generally think of video as and audio as streaming, and it is weird. You know, you should just start sending, instead of sending text messages, just make a video and send a video through a text. It kind of weirds people out. It's a strange way to behave, and a lot of times, tell you,
it's the best thing. It's the best way to get customers.
It's a strange way to behave. I love it.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to use that.
Well, this whole thing is strange. Can you imagine, 50 years ago, we're having a conversation here, conference calls. That was Dick Tracy stuff. Talk about 50 years ago. I mean, that's all.
To watch,
Asynchronous. Put a stamp on it.
You see, it's all things will be on your own time.
All right. But there is something also pretty cool about it, because you have the AI attached to it. It immediately also transcribes the video, so you as you get it, you have a little idea of what's going on before they
transcribe.
Before they drone on.
Well, I guess transcription is AI in itself, but then we use the LLMs, the large language models. In this case, it is OpenAI's API to summarize the transcript in I think 1 or 2 sentences, so that you can kind of get a quick idea of what they said prior to it. Asynchronous. So I love that you brought that up, Chris. I don't know if you guys are, setting me up here, but the great thing about asynchronous also is you can get ready, but at the same time, we don't have to schedule anything. There's nothing on your calendar.
Yeah,
I can send an auto reply or a reply to every resume I get with a video of myself, and I'm thinking, and it could be private. You can make it totally only available to people with the email address. You can make it just an unlisted link. If you're nervous about being, it's funny, being on the internet, having your video, and then maybe someone come finding you and killing you because they know who you are. So a lot of people, I think, are still a little worried about putting themselves out there.
Oh, yeah.
And you say, who cares? Everyone's out there at this point. 15 years ago, people's lives might get ruined by a viral video, but I don't think you get your life ruined anymore. There's so much media. I think, you got the little kind of there's some words out there that, but I don't even, I wouldn't want them out
asynchronous.
Asynchronous. I hope that's the limit here that you catch me on, or that I, stumble into. But it is not having it on the, not having a schedule. I send 200 emails out and I get 70 videos to view. I don't have to be anywhere to watch these. I can do them all at whatever time of day I want, and then I could reply to them anytime I want. Just like when you. As you know, Dan, I got married last week, and I had it. My email box was jam packed. Yes, I did it. And I was cleaning up my emails. I've been cleaning them up for the last. It's a lot. It just builds up, but it's the same thing as email. You'll get to it when you get to it. And email is like one of those things where if I send you an email, and you don't get back to me, I mean, I'd like to hear back. Maybe if I'm your boss or something, or I'd like to hear back from you by the end of the day. But even if I'm your boss, if you don't get back to me for an hour and a half or 2, it's okay. Text message a little bit shorter of a time frame that you're expected, I guess, depending on whatever. But it's not, you don't load up, because I hate putting things. This was a big thing to have this podcast today on my calendar. I don't like putting things on my calendar. I like things being a little more malleable. I think we all do, a little more fluid. I'm here, I'm there. I hate, I think I hate cell phones. I hate, and people, oh, it's amazing. You do this. I can go to my son's baseball game, and I wouldn't be able to do that because I could work. I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. But
you see, a man of the hills.
I'm a man
That's
of the
it.
Yeah.
I think that's your shirt. I'm a man of the hills.
The man of the hills. Yeah, I guess I am a man of the hills.
I'm a man of the asynchronous hills. How about that?
Synchronicity was a Police album.
Oh, it was a fantastic album.
We could make the Weird Al version Asynchronicity, and we'll just
that's
oh my god, that's amazing.
That'd be great. Yeah. It is a great album. I love that album. Yeah. So
I'm so glad you said that.
With all this, but it is nice not to put things on your schedule. A packed schedule, busy. I don't think it's healthy. I think people. People are they're on meetings all day from 8 to 6, and these are people that they could actually provide some value. I mean, if they were really tapped into a creative mind of their own, rather than just be on meetings all day, they could really, they could probably really create something nice for humanity. Yeah. But droning along the whole day with an hour, maybe. I don't know. These people that I know, they don't have any. It's the whole day. I don't know. That is.
This is a good topic actually, because that's the one place that we're all equal. We all have 24 hours. That's it. I mean, everybody, and you get to decide how to use.
The only place we're equal.
Yeah, it's the only place we're equal. Everything else is all fungible. Yeah. But with your hours, so you get to decide. So I used to give presentations, and I would tell people, listen, you got 8 hours to work, you got 8 hours to sleep, and you got 8 hours to work on yourself. And some people spend that time just watching TV, or some people just spend that time with extra work or what have you. But if you could, you say you don't like your calendar. I kind of like that, but there are times
I want the calendar to be empty. The calendar.
You see, for me, gosh, that's where I find the devil. I mean, if you want to get me in trouble, you just empty space. So I'll fill it out, but it'll just say, think. I just need to fill it out, right? Go for a walk. But I tell you, I do that. Do you? Let me ask you. Do you have a morning routine? Does it involve, any kind of?
No, I think just drinking coffee would be the only thing you could count on.
You don't do any slosh stick, Slavomisia?
Savagosha? Yeah. I think you got to do a whole. I don't do any. I don't do it. I don't do it. I watch these. You watch the. I don't want to be cliche on this one. I'm trying to think of some fresh ones.
No, please. We are Mr. Cliche.
The cliche would be, the transcendental meditation, then a cold plunge, and then, maybe a fast, intermittent fast.
Oh,
and
yes.
then,
that's that Haberman stuff.
All of the items, and then maybe you just change your blood out or something. I don't know what you do next, but I think I got really into the concept of all that stuff. Or not the concept. I did a lot of it. I did a lot of stuff.
Really?
I've done a lot of stuff. If you follow me around, I've done it all. But at a certain point, I think it always wears out. These things people don't stick with these forever. They might stick with it for 7 years, 4 years, 11 months. There seems to be this optimization of life seems to not hold forever. I mean, how many diets have we seen that are the end all be all? And I don't know what they're on now, keto, or there was paleo and keto. I don't know I'm not exactly sure what the difference.
It's the asynchronous diet, actually. That's hot. The asynchronous diet.
The asynchronous, right?
That's
you just do. You do it by yourself. Right. You do it by yourself on your own time.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I know we're going down the rabbit hole of this asynchronization.
All across the nation.
But it's like here's what I love about it. Okay, so let's just say I'm a coach. Dan, you do some coaching. you know, you're not always at your best. You know, it could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You got up at 3:30 in the morning and you're wiped. And you're not expected to get back to somebody, but when you are at your best and you can respond, you do it and you give your best to that person and you help that person. So I think, you know, it's almost like you're cheating time in a way, because we're not always great live. I do love live video. I hate to, you know, I'm so sorry, David, that we just cobbled our way into your calendar, you know. But I think it's a great way to almost take a break without taking a break. It's almost like a way for you to go, hey, I'm feeling my best now, so I'm gonna, you know, not catch up. I think catch up's maybe the wrong word, but I'm at my best now where I can serve people, and I'm gonna do that asynchronously. Wow, that's really tough word to say. Almost like savasana.
I gotta get a better word.
Right. But it's a really smart way of doing it. Like when you're drinking water out of the fire hose, like you're talking about it, everybody's just like, you know, hammering, you know, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. or whatever. It's like sometimes you just want to unplug your brain and just go into your nothing space. And you're not going to want to do stuff at that point. You're not going to want to be live. So when you're at your best, you can utilize a platform like this and do it.
Well, there's a lot of things there. So you do have your turn. I got my video out. It's your turn. I mean, you know, you're not worried. Am I trying to think of I'm not worried. What am I going to say next? Yeah. I can't listen to a word Chris just said about all that nonsense, because I want to say something there. So that you do get your own turn with it. Everyone gets the same amount of, you know, equal time or equal turns. It's kind of neat, especially if we took this and used it for something different than hiring. I really did try to build this as a tool that could be used for anything I want it to be. And then you say, well, yeah, you could just send text messages, iMessenger messages with videos if you want, but you got to kind of agree on it. This sets the rules and forces you in there. The other really cool thing, because we've used it for real hiring, what we find is you filter down all the people who are really into the job. Then you schedule live interviews, whether it's in person, on the phone, on I don't like saying Zoom, but on Zoom.
Virtually.
A conference call.
A video conference call. Because I don't use Zoom. I use Google Meet, but I don't like if I say, oh, we'll do it on Meet, it doesn't really make sense. So it's 100%. We have not had anyone anyone that doesn't show up canceled. Whereas if you just put an ad out for entry-level sales positions at a thing, and you had a whole bunch of them, and then you just scheduled them, and let's say you responded the second you got the resume, like, hey, cool resume. Can we schedule a meeting? Here's my Calendly. I think I'd be willing to go to 50% will not show up. It's an amazing.
Oh yeah.
Number of people that schedule interviews that are looking that you thought they were looking for a job, and they go as far as to schedule in and they don't even show up. But
why is that?
I think there's I think it's, I don't know. I guess it would probably be the times we live in. I think there's like people get worried they're gonna. I think that's also why people don't date as much anymore. They get worried they're gonna get like talked into something, and they're like they don't want to go another step further or something. I don't know. It is.
There's an incredible amount of people who accept jobs and then don't show up their first day.
Yes, completely. That's because it's one more step down this line of commitment that they're so scared of. Wow, it's frightening. I mean, to imagine some people or a lot of people's lives, it's depressing. But you get to knock all those people out because you get rid of a lot of them right away because they're not going to make a video. I mean,
right.
And it's kind of, and this is the thing too, is like some people will be like, well, all the confident people will get all the jobs using your product. And I'm like, from my experience, you could tell that for some of the people that it was a big step for them to make that video. And you really respect it. You say, God, I love this person. I mean, they're going to be, this person gets over the hump. They really work on themselves, like Dan in the morning. they're really, they're really taking a big leap making that video. And then they get the video back. Hey, thanks for the video. Hey, what skills do you have you think that would apply to this job? Then they're thrilled that they got another follow-up. And then if it doesn't work out, they love that there was like a human being behind sending that resume into a black hole. The people that they like just getting to know you a little bit, trying to see what was on the other side of Indeed or whatever platform, wherever they sent that resume. Then but then when you connect in real life, you have a rapport. It's amazing. You've already met, and you can get so much further, so much faster in a conversation when you've traded 2 videos asynchronously.
There's the line. There's the line. You can get so much further, so much faster.
When you've traded 2 videos asynchronously on a turn-based, let's get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to. Chris Stone can rap to that later, but I can attest to this that because I give my volunteer thing is I do some job seeking things at some like Career Quest little ministries, and I give this program how to sell yourself on your next interview, and the main thing I tell them right at the beginning, I said, tell me why you want this. Tell me what you're looking to do. And they tell me, and I said, okay, now get out your phone and say it into your phone. And so they make a video. I go, and now send it to me. The video that you just made. So here's somebody who, this is the weirdest thing. So it just breaks down. Some people everybody will tell me what they're looking for. About 2/3 of them will make the video, and about half of them will send it to me. Like, even if they made it right in front of me, and still they can't, grab their balls and just press send.
Yeah, I think there is a inherent fear that you're gonna get. This will be put on the front page of Google, the front page of Facebook. And you are going to never get your life back on this unbelievably embarrassing video where what are you saying? Hey, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to make 10 touches a day. I'm going to be the #1 rep. I'm assuming these people are salespeople that are doing that. I don't know what the video is, and be like, I'm going to make $280,000 this year. And then they're like, I probably did something so devastatingly embarrassing just now that I could end up like, and you say like, who? What, like Pamela Anderson, like Kim Kardashian? They turned out pretty good.
Yeah, well, I a little back end to that story. I went back to one of those things because I do it often, and a woman said to me, she goes, "I'm so glad I made that video with you just in that class, because the next interview I went on, they asked me to do one.
Yep.
And why I should get the job."
And she was a little bit better because she had already done it.
Yeah, she didn't have to go through that. That first leap, which is more difficult, which is, hyperleap. What do you think of that? See, it all fits together. That's how it.
Make the leap.
No,
it's true. I mean, I've been doing a lot of videos and stuff because it's weird. It is. You gotta. I don't know, but I mean, we've been doing these Zoom calls and stuff for a few years. I mean, really, for the last 3, really aggressively. Even before then, I don't know. I get it. I understand it, but you're out there. I mean, assuming you're gonna have to show up and someone's gonna have to see your face. I mean, do you think that this is, not a fair representation of yourself? I don't know. I don't want to. I do want. I think people. I don't want.
You're still nice. He's so nice. He doesn't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Let me tell you how nice he is. Let me tell you, I was talking to him after we got together, and so we talked about some coaching and things like that. So finally, he just agrees to go ahead and do it. He actually said this. He goes, "I don't even know what I'm buying, but I think you're good people, so we're going to take care." Absolutely. But that's a sign. You should know that a lot of these jobs that you're going for, people lead Chris, you know this, but people buy because of 4 reasons. They like you, they trust you, they believe you, and then they'll have a desire to do business with you. But like comes first. And so you got to be likable, and you got to be the person they want to deal with. You have no idea when somebody's hiring you, how much more important those soft skills are. Even more than, the third thing is they believe you. That's where that's where your resume and all your technical expertise comes in place. But you're not even there yet. By doing a video, 2 videos back and forth like that, dealing with a human, creating that relationship ahead of time, is such an advantage for you in getting that job.
Well, so yes. And as you're talking, I'm not listening, and I'm just thinking of what I want to say. No, you got me thinking. I was listening 100%. And but what I was listening to, and I'm saying, yeah, that's true for the the kind of maybe the big up, the middle, the entry level, and I'm saying, yeah, that is kind of the sweet spot of what Introview works for early on. However, let's say you were up for VP of engineering job at I don't know, let's say it's Oracle. I don't know, actually, let's say it's
Cisco.
I can't think of who the CEO of Cisco or let's pretend let's say Larry Ellison wants to meet you at Oracle. That's where I was going.
Okay.
I don't think he's the CEO of Oracle. I think he just owns it. And you go, hey, Larry Ellison wants to meet you. Can you send a video here and introduce yourself, and he'll get back to you. And I'm a VP of engineering. I have 15 years experience. This is a $500,000 a year job. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not gonna make videos of myself. It's like, yeah, you will, to meet Larry Ellison. Yeah, Larry Ellison doesn't want to put you on his calendar. He might want to let you know he appreciates you. So you send hey, Larry, I am excited to work here, and I'd be curious what you're looking for at my level nowadays at Oracle. And then he gets back to you, 8 hours later, and he's like, oh, hey, Dave, yeah, I just looked at your, that'd be amazing. And he said, well, on Larry Ellison's calendar is, I would think, 10,000 times more difficult than getting Larry Ellison to respond to an email or send you.
I'm totally sending one to Mark Cuban, totally sending one to Bezos. By the way, Bezos, his email is what's his first name?
Breaking news, Jeff.
Yeah, it's Jeff at Amazon.com. I called him.
You're doxing him.
No, it's Jeff at Amazon.com.
Yeah.
I called. So I called once to see if I could get him.
David, I've got a question before this thing goes completely off the rails with Bezos.
That's where I go. I just
all right. You guys can go together. I'll let you guys.
Okay.
No, I appreciate it, Chris. It's really cool.
No, I'm curious because lots of times people, and I've known people, and being a manager and having hired people, lots of people will do some kind of crazy things to set themselves apart when they're being looked at for a job. So this allows someone not to just show up and, button up and say, hi, I'd really like, here's my profile. Has anybody done anything really out of the ordinary to on the platform to set themselves apart in order to try and get a job or get someone, the right person into their job?
Such a helpful, if I'm going to just use this to sell product here.
That's what we're here for.
One time in Bandcamp, we were recruiting for a video editor, and I used Introview, and that was amazing because they were making you can upload a video or use the camera through the app, and they made it all of a sudden, I had no idea I didn't realize it. Honestly, that's what I was looking for. But all of a sudden, maybe a third of them, maybe 25% of them made a video that was creative, and they edited it creatively. They did a few things to kind of, they did a little tap dance in there because it was for a video editor position. And I said, well, that's easy. Anyone that didn't do that is probably less creative. you'd think because it's a video editor job, if you know how to, I don't know, what's a video editing software? What's the main one?
Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro. So I know y'all know how to use Final Cut Pro, but like, I don't want to just hold your hand and tell you every last cut to make and what would be neat and what would be fun. I would hope. And so if you can't even think to do that on an intro, so that was kind of really neat to say, wow, this is pretty entertaining to go through these, honestly. Like I was thinking, could turn this into some sort of show if someone edited all these together. It was really cool.
Actually, for any creative position, that would be good for, anywhere where people need to think
and don't guide them. Yeah. And I would think there'd be more. We've done a lot of sales people on there, a lot of sales. I haven't seen on the sales end. I haven't seen, and I can't think of anything that really jumps out at you. We did a marketing director role at a music venue in LA that I went through some of those, and they wanted to have them tell them like some of their bands they're listening to right now or whatever. And so people would bring the cell phone and they'd go sit right next to their creative vinyl and like go through the record. It was actually kind of a, what is it? They stepped in you kind of were like, we didn't really want to do this. I know this is fun.
Right.
But yeah, I guess people would go to different scenes. Nothing huge, but the video editor job was pretty thoughtful. What a lot of people.
Yeah, because you're putting everyone in a sandbox and giving them some stuff to make a castle, right? And so like that's kind of the way I look at it. I've interviewed people and they hand me a resume, and the resume looked like a.
Every other resume.
Every other resume has their name at the top and all of that, stuff and their education and all of that. And then the ones that set themselves apart are the ones that handed me something that said, okay, this was bold for them to do it. And it does show creative. Didn't always work.
People will say, I guess especially when you leave an open-ended question, if you're leading them just a little bit, leave an open-ended, what attracts you to hyperleap in terms of, and then it's going to force them to at least go to your website or try to learn something and tell you something about it, or just BS, and it'll be obvious to me, super obvious if it's your company. And just some people will they'll have some really interesting insights. Or they will have a perception of the job that you just don't even know where they got that perception. But then it's kind of fun because then you have to kind of say, well, it's valid. They really did think that. And you say, what about the way either my video I sent them or the job that we posted online had them thinking this? And there's Roman. He's the graphic designer in Ukraine.
Look,
you're logged in.
How's he doing in Ukraine?
They seem good. Everyone, they're in Western Ukraine in Lviv. That's Grisha. He's a brilliant engineer.
He's also passionate about contributing to open source projects.
He's a hobbyist. Yeah, he once AI got really big and we were doing a lot of AI development, he went and took some advanced math classes because we were doing like a lot of these working with cosines and just some math terms that I kind of forgot about. Then there's me. You
gotta get back to in your ceviche position to remember that stuff.
Savasana, Dan.
The ceviche position. That sounds like something.
And Dan's looking for a sales manager. While a guy walks out of his garage, apparently. So that was a creative move on your part.
It's always keep activity. Yeah, there he is. He's just out there. Actually, I like that when your background is moving. It's interesting.
Like the news, like in the old days, they had that newsroom always behind them. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, you got action going on. This isn't just like showing up in the corner of your bedroom. I
gotta get a guy. I should put a guy back there.
Sure,
and make it just seem like they're feeding Dave a lot of info here.
I think you should be out of the hills. Like you're a man of the hills.
If I could get like a Starlink or something, yeah, the hill.
You know,
Oh, I want a Starlink. Yeah.
Yes, the whole thing. So this is awesome. So we're going to get this into. So recruiters need this. Who's the prime target? We still need to figure it out. But
so
recruiters, staffing.
I've had over the weekend, I said, I think that I've had a little bit of hard time getting traction with recruiters. And I don't know that I'm kind of threatening them. I kind of am thinking, if a business owner used Introview the way that I would prescribe it, they can get rid of almost all their recruiters. They could get like one or two, depending on the size of the organization, they get down to no recruiters. I mean, if I had a 100-person company and we were hiring maybe one person a month, 5 people a year, they probably don't have a recruiter. But they also don't have a lot of time. And what I would do is I would say, hey, why don't you spend, you are hiring people, assuming that you are, why don't you keep an advertising budget going on Indeed or LinkedIn, keep a few jobs posted to people that you want in your company, or that you're always, the perfect example is a sales team. You're always hiring if you got a sales team. I guess restaurants are always hiring, and not to be Machiavellian or anything, there's always if you found a perfect person, but you really didn't have the budget for them, there's probably someone you could probably get rid of, or that you should get rid of in most cases. But you should always be recruiting, as Alec Baldwin would say. Run the ad.
ABR.
Yeah, ABR. Run, and then, but just put an autoresponder on every resume you get. Send them an email from the CEO with on Introview. You could copy the GIF and put the image in there and say, hey, thanks for the resume. Please watch this video. And then they can click and it says, hey, thanks for sending the resume. I'm curious why you're interested in working here. Please reply to this video with letting me know below. And then that video comes into Introview. You could put like a delay, like you could create this is automation. That's a cool word, right? Mm-hmm. So we can automate this. So they get the first response saying why they want to work there. And then say, hey, what is the ideal role based on your experience and your desire at hyperleap? I got your last video, and you don't even have to review the first video yet. And then they respond to that one. And then, you could do two things at that point. You could either, at that point, get an email back to you saying, hey, this is a person that completed both legs of the video. So you get an email. You didn't look at anything yet. You get an email with 2 videos and a resume. And you could watch the 2 and say, because that's going to cut down. That's going to cut down. If you had 1,000 resumes, you're going to be down to 200 that did that, likely. Yeah. And then you could then say, send them my calendar and let's meet them. Or maybe decline, and you could send them a video back, be like, hey, I got both your videos. Right now it's not, I don't think it's the fit. You could send them a video, which is, people really appreciate that. Even if it's a stock video of you saying, hey, we looked at your resume, we watched your videos. Yeah. We're not going forward. I don't think it's a great fit at the time. Or you could just get the 2 resume or the 2 videos, the resume, then the 2 videos, and then send them a Calendly link that maybe you position it saying, give me a time to meet, and then we'll confirm it. And then calendar appointments to either accept or decline.
And all that stays on one thread.
Yes.
So it's easy to find the person.
Oh, yeah. It's all right in there. And then what we have not built yet, I hate to do this, but I'm building, is you'd actually have if you were going to do a video conference, you'd do it through Introview and it would record. So you could add that to the chain too. So you'd have the live meeting with the 2 asynchronous or however many asynchronous. And it could be a thread of asynchronous plus live, all recorded. So if you were in a huge company where you had a ton of people that wanted to meet this candidate, they could just go.
It's all organized.
Yeah, they could look at the whole thing. And
you can download those videos from the platform if you wanted to use them and send them around internally. That's great. So it sounds like you're doing a fair bit of analytics to be able to say, like you just said, 1,000 resumes, you're probably only going to get about 200 videos. Generally, do you have any sort of analytics that says, 35% of, this is going to weed out?
Yeah, where it's like, it's kind of 40% on the first video, and then you get like 80% of the second video. So that's like 32% getting to the end in that situation.
That's huge. That's a huge amount of time. I mean, especially when you have you look at some of these positions that people are hiring for on LinkedIn, and you look at the amount of applicants. I'm like, how do you even?
They don't, and they run it through AI, and they run it through things. And there's edge cases where, people just don't even get a chance. And I was a recruiter, and we only got paid. We got paid whatever 25% of the person's they'd pay a commission. The person didn't lose any of their salary, but they weren't going to pay a commission if it wasn't the exact perfect fit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they're a little more lax internally if they're not having to pay a fee to a recruiter. But they're not going to say, oh, hey, I want to be a brain surgeon, and I really have an interest in the brain, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. They're going to say, well, this guy seems smart, So that I get that that's not happening. They're not going to just take a total chance on someone, but there's some. I think the AI screening or the screening by ATS systems. I think in order to save time for the recruiter or the screener, they cut some edge cases out that are qualified, but they just didn't write their resume perfect, or they went to some like a school that. When they add it all up.
Yeah, you're right. It's really, really good for the young person who hasn't done anything yet, whose resume is crap.
It's for the recruiting team.
For the recruiting, because you're missing out on somebody who could be a real go-getter. But so someone like me, we have to go. Okay, someone like me, I went for. I know you don't have a calendar.
Yeah,
I got a guy.
The hills don't have time.
I wanted to get a job as a stockbroker. When I came to Atlanta, I went to 3 different places, and the one guy at Merrill Lynch or whatever didn't want to see me. I said no problem. So I just went to the office, and I sat there in the office all day, waiting for the guy to come out. I just wanted to talk to him. I said, my resume is garbage. I'm much better in person. So I waited. The guy snuck out the back.
Oh,
and so he didn't want to, I swear. And so then like the next day I went and I found out what car he drove, and I met him in his car. And I said, I said, so you're the guy? And he said, oh, you're the guy that was in the office all day. Then I had to sneak out the back. He goes, yeah. And so he rolled up his window and just drove away. Anyway, so what I did was now I have something. Now I got a story. So I went to Bear Stearns, which was down the street. I told him the story about what happened at Merrill Lynch. He hated that guy, hired me on the spot. But that's
Bear Stearns, the one that went out of business, and which one?
Well, Lehman Brothers.
No, because I wanted to work at Merrill Lynch really bad too when I was right out of college. For some reason, it had a very prestigious aura to it. And I
wound up going to Smith Barney after Bear Stearns, but the guy hired me on the spot. But you can't do that stuff anymore. I mean, you just can't get into buildings anymore and do that crazy stuff.
No. Even then, you're a hutch. As in the late '90s, you couldn't do it hardly.
Yeah, right. But you still could, because there was enough people that remembered it in the old days, and you could still you wouldn't get kicked out of
the counters and the security.
Yeah. That's right. You could do. But now you could do video. I could send these videos to these people. So even if my resume is garbage, I could still talk to them. And wait, here's the one question. Do you know when they open it?
We do, but we don't. We are going to put stats on it.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to say if,
all right.
There's like a thing where you're an attractive girl or something, it's female, woman. I don't know what would not be.
Well, Chris Stone has that problem.
You send it in and you see there's like 800 views in turn. Like, I don't know if that's, I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, you just had me thinking something there as you were going through the,
all right. Well,
That's what happens when you don't listen and you just want to say something while doing
That's
stuff.
right. You know,
listen,
That's
David,
it.
it
Well,
happens.
that's it. I
It
should
happens
just
to me
focus
all
on
the
what I
time.
want to say and stop listening completely. I try to, I try to be a good guy here, but it seems like everyone who's getting ahead in life doesn't even
Right.
listen at all.
Right. I mean,
all-
listen, next time we're going to have to do the show asynchronously. So
it's called active listening. Chris Stone, once again, you have produced something, artwork. I mean, it should be. It's going to be in the Louvre next week. That's what it goes, and it's because we finally have quality entertainment here with Dave Hanley. Dave, you're awesome.
Did anyone ever come on? Did we get a live audience at all?
Yes, but you were dropping so many golden nuggets that everybody was too busy scribbling.
Yes,
getting all these rules for the hills. It was fantastic. I love it. Those of you who have not heard or seen, jump to introview.com. Join in or at least watch Dan's and David's videos on the platform because they're amazing. Hyperleap.com. That's the main company, and Introview is a part of it. I guess
we have a handful of products that we build, and it's all under Hyperleap Inc.
Got it. And LinkedIn, David Hanley, and of course the company Hyperlink Inc. on Hyperleap Inc. Wow, I can talk. On LinkedIn. David, this was awesome, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed it too.
Stick around after, and for all you watching there, listen, just remember, you have to try something new or else you're going to be like everybody else. The only way to stand out from the crowd is just to be on the front end of it, and you can do that here with this product. You guys are the best. Chris Stone, you're the best. I'm the Deej. Let's hit it hard today, guys. Go get them.
Yes.
Go get them.